guys? It's your boy, Barca Boy 103. Just finished watching the match. Barcelona beat Eibar 1-0 away from home in the final game of the 2020-2021 season in what was a very, very poor performance of the whole entire team. Nothing going forward. Everything was in our own half today. We did not do anything going forward. We had 2 shots, but we did score one of them in the end. And overall, it was a terrible performance. But the most important thing is that Atletico Madrid are the Liga champions and Real Madrid are in the mud. Madrid are in the mud. That's the only thing to celebrate today, is that Real Madrid have bottled the league and they do go trophyless. Well, Barcelona have won a trophy this season, so another trophyless season for Real Madrid. Barcelona, at least won the Copa del Rey, so that's a little bit of a bright light. So we did overall have a better season than Real Madrid because we did win a trophy. But this game has been an absolute shocker from Barcelona. Starting off on the screen right now, I know it says a 4-3-3, but we did play a 3 at the back in this game. It was Neto in goal. A back to De Jong, Araujo, and Mingueza. Wing backs being Des and Junior Firpo. 2 midfielders were Busquets and Moriba, and the 3 forwards up front were Griezmann, Trincao, and Uzman Dembele. So the one and only goal came in from Antoine Griezmann. It was our only attack for this whole entire game, to be completely honest with you guys. Came down the right-hand side. Dembele cuts inside, loses it, just crosses it in. Defender flicks it on. Griezmann on the volley, top corner, beautiful finish. A lot of people during my live watch along were slating Antoine Griezmann, and he shut you guys up. What a finish from him. And he made it 1-0, and he also literally gave Koeman a little bit of glimmer of being the Barcelona manager. Because I tell you what, if we drop points in that game, I'm still Koeman out, by the way, but if we drop points in that game, Laporta would have sacked him tomorrow. Honestly, the performance in this game was absolutely dreadful. Let's get into now the team performance overall. I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. Completely average. It was an absolute dreadful. The first half, I was more on Twitter than I was watching the game in that first half. We had nothing. Eibar had 6 shots compared to Barcelona's 1, and our 1 shot was from Mingueza, clearing it from the halfway line. It was overall poor performance. I'll give Koeman credit for changing it at halftime. He went to the 4-3-3, made a triple substitution at halftime as well. But I tell you what, he was just sitting there writing notes, and he didn't change anything after he made that triple substitution. I tell you what, it was so boring. I want to give you guys, whoever watched that whole entire 90 minutes like me, give you guys full credit for that, because that was an absolute snooze fest. That the team needs rebuilt, guys. This team is not going to compete for anything next season. Laporta is already wheels are already in motion. Of course, Aguero and Depay are coming in, so are Garcia. It's just this team needs an absolute rebuild, because this team next season needs a big push. It's not good enough. It's not good enough. This game against rock bottom 20th in La Liga, and we couldn't even get at least 2 shots in this game. It was absolute snooze fest from the whole entire team. 6 out of 10. Let's now get into the player ratings. Keep in mind, probably everyone's going to get a 6 out of 10 in these player ratings. First off with Neto, he gets a 6 out of 10. Quiet, he dealt with some of the shots from Eibar, give him credit for that. But again, he did have that slip up in the first half while he was playing out from the back. Other than that, he dealt with all Eibar shots. They weren't really, that good, but, he saved them. It looked like it's going to be his final game in the Barcelona shirt as well. Give him a 6 out of 10. Into the back 3 now. I start with Araujo on the right-hand side. I'll probably give him a 6.5. Thought he was, the best out of a bad bunch today, but again, very average from him. Picked up a yellow card as well, but defended very well. Dealt with Takashi Inui and Sergio Enrique up front. Other than that, though, he was pretty quiet from the whole entire team. Give him a 6 out of 10. Same goes to Frankie de Jong as that central center back. Give him a 6 out of 10 as well. It's just, I really don't know what to say. It was just a boring, poor performance of Barcelona. Same with the maybe individually as well. He's probably one of the best at the bad bunch. I think when he went to midfield, he did much better. But other than that, it's pretty dead from the whole, from every single player in the team as well. Give him a 6 out of 10. Left center back was Oscar Mingueza. I'm gonna give Mingueza as well, maybe a 6 out of 10, maybe a 5.5 because he got subbed off at halftime. I think it was more so tactically than it was based on his performance. But again, he got turned up by Bryan Gil on that right-hand side quite a bit, to be honest. Maybe I'll give him a 5.5. Didn't do that great. Of course, had that slip-up where Neto, when he passed it from the back, and, got very lucky. That could have been an own goal easily. Other than that, it was just, he dealt with Bryan Gil pretty well, and Sergio Enrique in the midfield as well. But on the wing, Bryan Gil had him on toast quite a bit. He had to injure him to, get away with it. Overall, Mingueza, I'll give him a 5.5 out of 10. Into the wing backs now. We're starting with Des on the right wing back. I'll give him as well a 5.5 out of 10. I think going forward today, he was very poor. Defensive-wise, wasn't that bad. But going forward, man, he had nothing. His crosses weren't that great. His connection play with, the front 3 wasn't that great as well. And it's just, a pretty below average performance. Gets a 5.5. Same goes as well for Junior Firpo. I'll give him a 5.5 as well out of 10. Got a yellow card as well. Started off the first half pretty well. I think defensively he did okay. But going forward, his crosses weren't that great. His attacking aspect of the game wasn't that great. In the end, a very poor performance from him. I'm going to give him a 5.5. Into the midfield now, we'll start with Sergio Busquets. I'll give him a 6 out of 10. The captain on the night, did what he had to do as well. Pick up a yellow card as well, but that's more for, talk to the referee. But again, didn't do anything bad, didn't do anything great. Pretty average from him, 6 out of 10. And Elias Moriba as that other midfielder, I'm going to give him a 5.5, maybe 5 out of 10 today. Of course, went off injured, but in that first half, he didn't play that well, to be completely honest. He had nothing going forward, nothing going back. He's supposed to be, that balanced midfielder up and down the pitch. Didn't really think he, marked his, place in the midfield. I think a lot of people in my live stream were saying, where's Mariba? Is he even playing? I completely agree. He's an absolute ghost in this game. Probably give me, a 5.5 out of 10. Into the front line now, we'll start with Trincao. I'll give Trincao a 6 out of 10. Of course, got, taken off at halftime. I felt like once he dropped the ball in the midfield and, went going forward, he didn't do that badly. But again, with the lack of game time, his connection play between Dembele, Des, and Griezmann wasn't that great. But again, I think he was just sacrificed for a tactical decision from Ronald Koeman, so overall, give him a 6 out of 10. Next up is Uzman Dembele. I'm going to give Uzman Dembele a 6 out of 10. I think I'm being a little bit generous with him. He's probably looking at a 5.5 as well. I thought he was very, very poor. I'll give him that extra rating, though, for, creating the assist for Antoine Griezmann's goal, essentially for that run. But again, his runs, his dribbling, or, his passing, by the way, oh my God, his passing is absolutely woeful. I think his shooting today wasn't the greatest as well. But, when he goes in for a cross, he always loses the ball. He loses his feet. It's so annoying to see. So poor from him, again, out from the whole team and from himself as well. I'll give him maybe a 5.5, 6 out of 10. And finally, up top was Antoine Griezmann. I'll give Griezmann a 6.5. Again, give him that 0.5 just because he scored the goal pretty much. It was a banger, by the way. But again, very, very quiet for him. He was, dealing with no creativity in that midfield. We're playing a back three against, 20th place Eibar, so he couldn't really do much. I saw him dropping a lot back to, trying to play that Messi role a little bit, defended a lot, came down the left-hand side, helped Junior Firpo as well in the midfield as well. Give him the credit for hustling today and scored that fantastic goal as well, so I'll give him a 6.5 out of 10. Into the substitutions now, the subs were Umtiti, Jordi Alba, Ricky Puig, Braithwaite, and Pjanic. Give them all 6 out of 10. I think Ricky Puig was the best out of all those substitutions, but again, they came into the game. They came to a game where, everyone was just, average, so they were average as well. It's just, they didn't really do much. I think Ricky Puig had some nice control in that midfield. He was getting swamped all the time as well, collecting a lot of fouls. Touches were a little bit off. Pjanic came in with 2 minutes left to go. Titi's defending was a bit sloppy. Jordi Alba was a bit quiet. Again, overall, all of them get a 6 out of 10 from me. And finally, the manager, Ronald Koeman. I'm going to give Ronald Koeman a 5 out of 10 again. Playing a 3 in the back against, 20th place Eibar. I mean, come on, really? I'll give him credit for the halftime substitutions. Made a triple sub, made his subs, a bit early. Again, Pjanic left it a little bit late, but Ricky Puig came on again. But that's for an injury, so it swings around about for Ronald Koeman. Again, Ronald Koeman's in-game management is very, very poor. I thought around the 30th minute mark, he maybe should have switched to the 4-3-3, bring De Jong into midfield, but he didn't, and it's just, it was probably, I think, I'll put it up there with one of the boringest performances this season. Not the worst, but definitely one of the boringest games ever. We did nothing going forward. The whole entire game, the ball was in our in our half. We had nothing going down to Eibar. We had 2 shots. Very, very poor from Ronald Koeman. I'd be shocked if he's the manager next season. I think the only way he would be the manager next season is if Juan Laporta cannot find a suitable replacement. Other than that, I think he's gone. He doesn't show anything to give us, some encouraging signs, nothing like that. It's just dead, just boring from him. So 5 out of 10 from me. So that was my match review for Eibar versus Barcelona in the final game of the season. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like. Of course, let me know your thoughts down below and subscribe as well. Tomorrow, I'm going to be making a season review video that should be up tomorrow. And also, I'm going to be announcing a giveaway in that video as well. So make sure you subscribe down below. Wait for that video tomorrow. Enter the giveaway. And thank you guys all for joining me for this season. It's been, a roller coaster of a season. I wouldn't say it's a failure, but I wouldn't say it's a success. I think, pretty much it's like today, an average 6 out of 10 season, but of course we'll talk about that tomorrow in the season review. But thank you guys all for joining me during this, season. I really appreciate it. And on to another season. Hopefully it's going to be brighter next season. But again, this concludes the 2020-2021 season. Thank you guys all for joining me. And I'll see you guys next time on the channel. Take care and Forza Barca.